Today we're going to be teaching you how to make these linen photo mats for picture frames. So first I had this mat that was already made and it had rust staining from a previous frame. So I decided to just recover this one. I'll show you later how to make your own mats if you don't have one that needs to be recovered. So first I cut a piece of fabric that was a couple inches wider and longer than the mat itself. Then I used a spray adhesive to give the mat a good coat, and then I'm just going to press that against the wrong side of the fabric. Then I'll just flip it over and smooth out any creases, make sure that it's perfectly smooth, and let it dry for a couple minutes before trimming off the excess edges. I left about 1/2 to 1 inch on each side of the border. Then you'll just make a couple small slits to cut a little square out of each corner of the fabric. And then you'll cut directly into the center of the fabric and cut an X through the fabric to the corner of each side of the mat. And then you can trim the excess of each triangle that you form so that you can fold it without overlapping the mat. Once you have everything cut, you can give everything a good coat of the spray adhesive again, and then give it a couple seconds to get kind of tacky, and then you can start folding up all of the edges. And then once it's dry, you can slide it in your frame and add your photo. So if you don't have a pre-made mat, you can easily make your own using any scrap cardboard or boxes that you have around the house. I find it best to measure the glass rather than the frame itself because it gives you a little wiggle room to add the fabric in. So I just trace the glass right onto the cardboard and then use scissors or an X-Acto knife to cut it out. Then you'll measure in along the sides, depending on how big you want yours. I did mine just under 1 inch on each side, but depending on how big your frame is, you might want to do larger or smaller. Once you have each corner marked, you can connect all those lines and then use an X-Acto knife to cut out that center square. At this point, all the steps will be the same as the previous pre-made mat, so you'll just give it a good spray adhesive, set it on your fabric, make sure there's no wrinkles, and then trim down the edges, cut the corner squares out, and then cut an X in the center, trimming the excess fabric from that as well, giving everything another good coat of adhesive, and then pressing down the edges.